Hello, Smite fans. Welcome back to the commentary desk for set number 2, week number 4, game number 3, season number 2. And what is it? The 27th month of the year? Or no? 20,
yeah, that's it. It's the 27th month of the year.
27th week, or 25th week of the year, 24th week of the year, something like
it's,
that.
what is it? September 2016.
What it is, though, is that it's summertime for Smite. It's the summer of Smite, in fact.
So
wish you were here.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Okay, Summer of Smite. The white girl afro skin. I don't know what the actual name of it is. I just call her white girl afro. Beach Bay.
Beach Babe.
Beach Bay.
Yeah.
What's the little B in the water?
It's a little B.
No, I meant like is it? All right. Well, fine. Summerofsmite.com. Go there right now.
You can make money for us.
Is that so?
Yeah. So portion of the proceeds from the Summer of Smite that you can access at summerofsmite.com will be contributed to the prize pool for the SPL Season 2 World Championship.
I like how we're doing this like almost right from the beginning this time, because we saw the third biggest prize pool in 24 at the beginning of 2015, and we only did that for a few months. So who knows what we can do with a whole year's worth of time?
I know, because I can see the future.
That's kind of cool. So
and I know that the Picks and Bands are coming!
I was going to do it.
No, I beat you to it.
So upset.
Team Solomid versus Cloud9, g2a.
This is a really, really big matchup here. Remember, guys, at this point, Cloud9 is undefeated, but going up against who many see as still the strongest team in North America, Team Solomid. This might be the end of the devastating reign of the tyrant Barracuda.
Will he die this day?
I killed him today in Siege.
That doesn't count.
It counts!
It doesn't count.
I am the slayer of Barracuda.
Well, the bands are in, or at least a little bit. It's Athena and Neith band out right away. Wow, Giannis, no.
Whoa, all right. I like that
on.
band. I think that character is unbelievable.
Spicy.
And maybe they were watching the tier list discussion, because Snoopy's like, yeah, Janice is really, really good. I love Janice. Maybe it was a trick, though. Maybe they hate Janice.
And then they banned it anyway?
Yeah, Sylvanus going to get locked in. Notably, bellona's still on the table.
Isis banned out as well, and that's a very quick Thor bellona for Cloud9.
So Bellona getting picked alongside Thor, this is something that we saw Titan do earlier in the day, and something that I do consider to be a little bit weak. Bellona as a solo laner does have a lot of weaknesses, and most notably, Divios is one of the people that has really exposed the strengths of the character, especially early on. So if Bellona does wind up in the solo lane, as per the picks would kind of depict to us, I would say that Divios will have the advantage going into this. I'm expecting tier. Hunters are still available.
Bots drafted to go along with the Sylvanus on the side of TSM, Medusa as well, so big team fight composition.
Yeah, seriously. Wow.
For the boys that'll be in blue. Red side, though, a couple of very powerful warrior assassin hybrids, I guess you would call them in this situation.
I would say she's the most assassin-like warrior, and vice versa. And then we have a warrior-like assassin coming out with Thor. Now, Geb going to be picked in here. We're going to go back into the banning phase in just a second. And it looks like it's going to start with Hades.
Hades banned out there. Geb selected, however, for Cloud9. Final ban pending from TSM. What are you banning here?
I would probably look at a mage here, take a shot at stealth. The issue is, how do you take a shot at stealth? I mean, they got the Janus Scylla, of course, on the table, but he's been playing a lot of different gods. And the issue is that Hunters are really good in the mid lane as well.
There it is, Apollo, gone.
Yeah, I like Apollo. Level 2 right now, hitting for 70 damage on creeps.
He needed that buff, didn't he?
Yeah, it's probably fine. Poseidon, yeah, notably going to be locked in here. Now, we talked to Snoopy about this god yesterday, and he actually very publicly stated, like, I don't know why we let this go on for so long. It's like everyone forgot that, like, beads and Aegis were a thing, and we just kept getting hit by Krakens. I think we're done with that now, right? That's basically what he said.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if Snoopy can get away from these gigantic water monsters. Anhur for the double hunter meta coming in. Will we see another Guardian?
I mean, a magical damage core would be really nice for them in this situation here.
It's true.
But it is, you're picking your soul laner into the counter pick from Cloud9 here as TSM, so it's going to be
Osiris.
Something fairly tanky, certainly. And yeah, the Osiris drafted here to deal with Bellona Thor front line.
Look at that, 4 physical lineup.
Yeah, standard.
With no magical damage at all. I mean, Sylvanus is like some of the lowest damage in the game. Osiris, pretty much in my mind, must build major aura items here. Things like Soul Eater will give them 40 power and 40 lifesteal as well as its base stats. Incredible value for 2,000 gold right now. Think of things like Executioner on the board right now for things like Medusa. They must get a massive amount of penetration, and I want to see a Void Shield.
Yeah, it's been a long time to see that item.
And with 4 physical, how could you get any better, right?
Soul Eater Void Shield could be great, but Divios, not the most magnanimous of players.
He's kind of like, I'm just going to sit in front of 4 people and try to fight him.
You're so dumb. You can't fight me. That's pretty much his whole goal in life.
Bellona's sitting pretty, though. She has 3 gods who like auto attacks and 4th god who really likes to get one off after, you know, his big hits, looking for those crits.
Day.
Yeah, and she's just going to be like, I have this whip that says you can't do that.
Well, it's a minute until we're going to see some, well, we might see some action before the minute mark.
Man, what are these two doing?
Divios just dumping spells, getting his passive
He is by himself. Shield.
Oh, he slugged Bellona.
Ooh, that was the only person that he could have hit.
Yeah, that's right. If he doesn't hit Bellona there, he dies.
I almost wish that we saw Andy get the wall. If he would have got the wall and Bellona could have got the slow off, then they get the whirlpool and shockwave him inside of it. There was a possibility, but spending all of that and putting Thor in that position. Uh-oh.
Are we going to have a man fight?
I don't think Omega should be really trying to box this at this level. He got a small advantage there. I think he'll take it, but I don't think anything's going to come of this. He doesn't have enough time to even poke him back.
Get back. So Divios will get back to the base for free, training a bit of poke with Omega, who may use an early potion here to recoup. But let's introduce your squads as we are underway here, about 10 seconds from the gong. Team Solomid, once known as Cog Red, once known as the Game Changers. They're the blue team, bottom side of the minimap, left side of your spectator UI. Divios will be your solo lane Osiris. Gars in the jungle as Hun Batz. The Boosh will be your mid lane Anhur, and then it's going to be Ionic Snoopy for your dual lane as Sylvanus Medusa. On the other side, Cloud9 G2a, wearing the red trunks, top side of the minimap, right side of the spectator UI. Looking to maintain an undefeated streak and looking to maintain a no-death streak on Barracuda. Something like a 56 KDA?
Yeah, I mean, technically it's infinite, right? Like, he has not died.
Yes. Omega will be your solo lane Bellona. Sir will be supporting him for the moment in the dual lane as the jungle Thor. MLC Stealth mid laning as Poseidon. Jeff, the Sex Hinla, will pair with Barracuda, the famed duo lane of North America, as Geb and Xbalanque.
I like the use of the AoE auto attacks right there from Divios. Not only applying the pressure, but clearing the wave at the same time is such a smart use of the auto attacks. And right there, you can see it worked out. Andy and Omega get pushed out, but Andy still decides to take the quick route out. Gar's going to stick around.
How well can Bellona deal with this poke from Osiris? Because what we've seen so far when Osiris is being played, it's more often than not, at least the games I've cast and been into, something like an Apollo, and he just pokes him out right away. Bellona, can you handle that better?
Probably a little bit better, but you do have to consider the fact that Bellona also is not afraid of Osiris, because most gods that give her trouble are gods that stop her from being able to clear the wave efficiently with bludgeon. Remember, every time she hits someone on the swing, talking about gods, she'll do extra damage on the actual slam. And she's going to do that here. There's no way for Osiris to actually stop her from clearing, so it could be trouble, but both of them have pretty decent clear with AoE auto attacks. Of course, the hammer cleave versus the AoE base hits on the 3rd and 4th hit of the attack chain, talking about Osiris.
Hey, Sir. He's stealing a back camp.
I love that.
And now he's going to run up to the wall, he's going to toss his hammer, and that's that.
And he picked the correct direction, too, because if he went straight, he was going to get slowed out by Divios. He was waiting for the sickle into the Spirit Flail combination, and it could have resulted in first blood, but he takes the smart path out, walks away safely, and gets back to mid lane for extra experience.
Oh, that's a nicely placed wall as well. Pointing forward as well. Berserker Barrage, a ton of damage coming up from Thor. Can we take a look at player damage, please?
I mean, it's got to be Thor. No, wow, Divios.
Divios smacking around, but still, about a 600 damage Berserker Barrage when all said and done there.
Speaking of Divios, could be in some trouble here. Omega going for the bludgeon. No, misses the shot. Big trouble here. He's going to turn this one around. No.
2 archers. It's the 2 archers to 1 archer combination there. Just too much for Divios to go in.
And he noticed that Omega was actually aiming directly for the creep. He was beelining to make sure he had control of the lane. Very smart. Although Omega's got to be feeling that loss of the kill, because that bludgeon would have resulted in a maybe 10 to 20 health left on and then Scourge.
Let's talk what happened in the mid lane here. Anhur and bots go back 2 minutes 30 seconds so that they're full HP and mana for the mid camps, but they will not be level 5, or they will be fighting a level 5 Thor. There is no Kraken available for MLC Stealth, but he will be able to clear another wave before forced to make the contest here. Will it be enough to hit him level 5? Of course it will. And now with a big advantage is Cloud9. Right side camp, all but secured. A little surprising here, considering that miscommunication, I think. Omega should have called out to the team that Divios was not rotating. They could have made the play on the left side.
Yeah, I think so. Like you said, no one was level 5. They had the Kraken available. Just the threat of the Kraken alone was enough to push them away, and they could have rotated Bellona over very quickly. You saw she was already on her way. Hand of the Gods, of course, wasn't up for him, but I mean, it's Bellona. She doesn't have a hard time clearing.
She would have been fine.
And worst case scenario, he trades that camp out, maybe even loses it, and they still get left side and push away their support. Big thing right here is that Ionic hit level 5 there. That's really big. He has one of the best level 5 ultimates in the game.
But can they turn it into a kill potentially onto Xbalanque here?
that's going to be a different story. I mean, Xbalanque notably very slippery without a cripple in the lane.
Divio's baiting here. Trying to force Omega to move forward. He's going to take the fight. Here comes the Fear No Evil. Ultimate to come out as well. No follow-up there.
I don't think Divios even had the mana for that. He's sitting on 64.
No, he had enough for Lord of the Afterlife, but just barely.
Even if he did that, what was he going to follow up with?
Yeah, he had no additional CC to bring to the table, so.
Wasn't going to be worth it. We're at the 4-minute mark, though. You're going to see the jungle camps start to respawn on both sides. Almost everything's coming up in the same time. I love it. But at the same time, I don't think we're going to see any invades off that.
Because, yeah, exactly. You need your own camps. Yeah, they'll be back up here in about 10 seconds, usually around that 4-minute 20 mark or so. You'll see all the camps come back up. Teams likely to stay to their own hemisphere of the map for the moment as they'll farm up the second spawn of their major map buffs.
Now, in the mid lane there, we saw Ionic kind of throw that pull off to the right side, and Ionic was one of those players that we talk about so much about how incredible he is at Sylvanus. One of the players that really put him on the map because of how amazingly he hits those raw pulls. But I actually predict that Cloud9's going to take this one. And right there was one of the reasons I think so is Ionic on that pull, it didn't look like his heart was in that. It doesn't look like he's as focused as he normally is. And Barracuda is going to be 10 times as focused as he normally is and is on one of the hardest carries in the game.
Well, we'll see if it's enough, as Snoopy also opting into the Devo's gloves. They're coming out at near identical timings. At the red buff, though, MLC Stealth, he's rooted out. He's knocked him as well. Snoopy putting on a nice bit of damage. Kraken decently on the mark, but Snoopy does go down right away. I'm sorry, MLC Stealth goes down right away to Snoopy. They're going to try to chase down Jeff Hinla. Ionic off the mark again there. Oh, just dodging the monkey as well. But no, that's a Fear No Evil. Brilliant placement from Gars to force Hinla back. Ultimate from Thor has gone up. He's going to look for that backside initiation on Ionic, but not find it. Anister force to use the Anvil of Dawn on the red buff.
I always consider Andy to have some of the best, if not the best, decision-making in the entire world. And right there, it shows you how there was a chance at a kill, but he valued his life more than his opponent's. And I think that's such an intelligent use of his ultimate. Just, you know what? I can't get this, so I'm going to drive right to the red buff, and I'm going to take something for nothing.
Oh, he's going to get the pluck onto Andy. A bit of harass coming out as well. He's going to spin for that one. Osiris, yes, he will be able to stop. Let's take a look over in the right side lane, please. As Divios has stopped Omega from falling back twice now, getting him quite low. But there is the slight level advantage on the side of Omega. Divios should be able to recoup this, though, with this free wave.
Divios looking pretty strong right now. Osiris, after those buffs, looking pretty strong. And in this, quote, hunter meta, is a really strong pick. Granted, there is only one hunter, but Osiris, one of the few characters in the game that can really stick to them. Things like Frostbound Hammer to slow attack speed, Midgardian Mail built up, and he has the Runeforge Hammer. You're going to expect boots next. One of the best characters, period, to be able to blow up characters like Xbalanque.
Well, he doesn't have protection from in-hands necessarily, right? He has physical damage reduction, and he also steals your power. Well, didn't steal it, but it leeches your power. So, you know, he's great against physical cores. And so you're looking at Bellona, Thor, and the Xbalanque, all of which he's going to be quite good against.
Right, and you also, I have to assume that he's going to build into the Frostbound. Stealing away attack speed is such a big thing in this meta right now. Not to mention constant slows to stick to Barracuda. Granted, Barra's going to have the sprint earlier rather than later. I expect on the next back we'll see at least sprint one.
So why do you think Snoopy's elected to itemize into Devourer's gloves here?
I think what it comes down to, Heartseeker is obviously the stronger item by a mile, but when you have Heartseeker, you don't have an ability for Gold Fury. Both of these teams really like early Gold Fury pushes off of even little advantages, so with that, I would say both players are really looking to utilize that. Now, for Snoopy, maybe a little bit more confusing given the fact that Medusa clears so safely and can utilize a Heartseeker probably much better than a Xbalanque can. Xbalanque has very poor clear, has a hard time staying in lane if he doesn't have a certain amount of lifesteal, so it's expected that Barracuda would go into...
It's obligatory for Xbalanque to buy the Devo's gloves.
But like you said, Snoopy, it could go either way. For me, it looks like this could be early Gold Fury attempts. Although it's already 8 minutes, I guess that's out the window.
Yeah, the early period has gone, has come and left, as they say.
So we're looking about 8 minutes now, and yeah, no Gold Fury attempts. 2 kills on the board, both of which belong to Team Solomid. Great ult by Ionic. Kind of put MLC in a bad spot. The Kraken didn't really do enough damage, and this is what Snoopy talked about yesterday. We did a little bit of an interview, and he said, "I don't understand why people keep getting hit by Krakens." Right? Yeah. We talked about it just before, and that looks strong, right? One person got hit by it; they couldn't follow up. Also, God, Divios' clear is just so incredible at this point, and he doesn't even have items yet.
Yeah, just positioning, creative use of game mechanics.
Gars not taking the double tap, but missing the retaliation with the Sacred Monkey Toss. No teleport. Is he going to jump? Pull! There's going to be a jump.
Root is good. Stealth off the mark with that stun. Thor counter initiation available, but I think he spots Divios below him, and Yeah, he's going to think better of this one. Right back in the tower range.
All right. I thought he was actually going to go back to the right and take the back camp, but they're looking to push this forward. I think if they saw him go in that direction, they're going to go for the Gold Fury.
Yeah, here comes the Gold Fury. They're going to force it as TSM here. Not going to be a clean opportunity for them, but they're taking it out relatively
How are they
quickly.
getting through Divios?
About 30% down, 35% down. Jeff Hinla trying to make the move. They're going to look to pick him here.
Hinla's in trouble.
5, but the Xbalanque ultimate is perfectly placed. Kraken, Snoopy, how do you get hit by a Kraken, buddy?
Oh,
Barracuda
no.
finds the kill as well. Guard's going to try to do what he can against Jeff Hinla, but it's not going to be enough. Stone Shield is there. It's a 2-man clean pickup by Cloud9. TSM tries to make that engagement, but just not there for him. That Xbalanque ultimate paying dividends.
I think that was the wrong call for them to get off of the Gold Fury. One person could have stopped Jeff, or at least kept him out. They all grouped up against a Geb, which is like the #1 rule, right? And then 4-man Kata, 3-man Shockwave, gets the shield off, and then out of nowhere, Kraken comes in, cleans it up, and they almost get Jeff. Guards makes a good play to try to turn it around and even gets a crit on the 30% mark, but unfortunately doesn't commit hard enough. The Geb shield comes out. He knows that he's kind of beat on that one of the hardest moves to predict in the game, and he just gets annihilated. They put up another 2 kills. Cloud9 turns it around very quickly and finds himself with the first objective of the game, 2,700 gold now in the lead.
Yeah, as you noticed there, when we take a look at the graphs, it was about a 4.7, 4.8 experience lead, and basically what happens there is TSM loses a team fight at one of the worst times in the game to do it. The only time this may be worse is to lose your Hunter right after the Heartseekers get stacked.
Right.
That's a huge swing, and that one often will really dictate the way that dual lane goes. But that like 7 to 10 minute timing, losing a team fight, all of a sudden those kills are worth tremendous amounts of experience. Right. The gold lead's about 2,500 as you mentioned. The experience lead's going to be about 5,000 once all is said and done.
It's going to hurt, and with that, don't forget Xbalanque also got a kill, meaning an extra 5 damage.
Yeah, free damage.
It never hurts to have an extra 5 damage.
Sure
if you
does.
hit 10 times, 50 damage could mean very much the difference between life and death. And Barracuda, of all people, knows that. Looking still very, very strong. No deaths yet.
Yeah, still keeping the streak alive. 57 KDA now.
Yeah, 57. That's right. Oh, my God. We should have something right now. We should have like something on the screen like a watermarking. Barracuda's current KDA.
Yeah.
And then one death's going to just plummet it down to like 9. Right?
Well, Anhur realizing he's caught into an awkward position. He's going to ult away from that one. Barracuda's ultimate use basically on reaction. The minute that they realize that Anhur's in trouble, just great communication coming out of Cloud9 there. You're seeing them show that off.
But he goes to the left side. Not sure what he was choosing to look for there, but doesn't gain anything for it. Not too many jungle camps to be found. In fact, I'm pretty sure the entire jungle is clear right now, including back camps.
All of the camps. Left side, back camp. Likely the first to come up here.
Stealth
Ultimate
trying to
use, and it's taking a tremendous amount of damage. He's not going to make it out in time. MLC Stealth credited for 1 kill. 2 members down. Gars and Ionic both there. Cloud9, they find something out of that one. It's a 2-for-1 trade at the end of the day, but it doesn't serve to get Anhur much further ahead.
Hey, check it out. Solo lane.
Hey.
Look at these two.
It's a slap fight.
This is definitely a slap fight. Did they even take damage? It doesn't look like they're taking damage. Good old Warriors.
The tiniest amount of damage.
My favorite class. And it's funny because when you're in that situation, it looks like they're just slapping, right? It's not a big deal. But when you're in that, it feels like life and death the whole time.
Oh, it's so intense.
Oh, my God.
Right.
It's like Dragon Ball. You're just attacking really fast at each other, hoping that one of the other person's going to feel it, right? And that, it looks like Omega is going to get the better of it thanks to that extra sustain from the Scourge. Snoopy rotating over there, helping the team out a little bit. Doesn't find too much, but all the while, Barracuda getting some free farm finds himself now with a pretty decent experience lead. You see him with the 1-level advantage.
Jay, speaking of experience leads, take a look at MLC Stealth with 2 levels on Boosh.
Well, Boosh opted into this Anhur, right? And hasn't really found much success. He has, of course, 3 assists, which is great, but the farm hasn't been nearly as good. MLC has been able to throw the Whirlpool down and rotate. This is not something that we can really see from Anhur. He doesn't have that level of clear where he can just safely leave the lane immediately. He will lose his tower for it. And even so, his tower's taking half damage.
Looking to make a play here at the left side mid camps.
Oh,
TSM, but
Jeff.
they're zoned out by Jeff.
Why did...
Preemptive beads from Snoopy not to get knocked up there.
There was 4 members there of TSM, and then they completely ran from 2, allowing all of Cloud9 to regroup and just attack. That was the slowest congregation I think I've ever seen from Cloud9, and TSM for some reason allowed it to happen. Maybe a lack of ward coverage, but Jeff Hinla's amazing aura.
This is great.
Just pushed it out.
I mean, just the fact that we're seeing teams coalesce as 5 and take objectives, towers especially, that mid lane tower becoming very valuable, I think just goes to show you a little bit of the maturity, or how the game is maturing Teams feeling really starting to find these small opportunities, right? The Gold Fury was the traditional one, but now these tier 1 towers are becoming very valuable. Ionic takes the double tap there. Omega going to clean that one up as well. Boosh completely out of this fight, throwing out a Desperation Impale, not finding much. There's the ultimate coming out from Osiris to try to get out of this one. Looks like his bail will be successful for the moment. Taking an awkward way back to lane is Snoopy.
Oh, Andy actually throws out the Mjolnir's attunement, but doesn't quite get him before the back goes off. Snoopy throws out one of the Viper shots and sends Andy packing, although not too much damage coming out. I don't think that's being leveled.
And there's classic Omega. The second the fight's over, he's like, I'm gonna take your blue buff.
Well, hell yeah, that's like that's the win. It's like I got the blue buff.
Yeah.
Like that's the best feeling as a solo laner. Like that's how you know you're in the league.
So you want a ward just to see Osiris go there and then turn away. Who cares about vision?
But he got it. He's also 2 levels right now ahead of Divios. Omega in a really good spot. I think this might have been a bit of a misplay from Divios and Picks and Bans. Picking Osiris into Bellona is a little bit strange to me. Like I talked about earlier, her bludgeon is uncontested. You can't stop her from farming the way she wants to. You can't out-sustain her like someone like Tyr can. And yeah, there's no reliable CC whatsoever. I mean, you have... Uh-oh, look at Ionic. Does he have Blink? He does.
Barracuda has the Devo's Gloves, though. He's perfectly happy to tank this one up. Gold Fury, 37%. A little bit early, though, is Ionic. I don't think he's going to get it in time. Kraken going to come out as well as he's stunned in place. Gold Fury reset. Going to be too high HP now for him to hog out. Andy does take a bit of damage initiating in there, but they get Snoopy down to about 50% HP as well. Coming into the ward is Omega. Unable to clear it in time as TSM. But a little bit of miscommunication here as it's just Omega on an island, but it's so much. He takes out Snoopy. The peel from Ionic comes out, but it's not in time. The rest of Cloud9 starting to pile into this one. Over the top. Roman Victor. Guards in a lot of trouble. And secured with the budget. No! Just off the mark and leaping away is Boosh as well. One more whip should do it. Gar's healing up quickly from the Sylvanus Wisps. But stealth. He stuns out Divios for the moment. Trying to run away from this one. He's fast enough. Spirit Flail over the wall. No. There's the ultimate Cataclysm coming out from Geb. The knockup as well. The chain CC coming through. Gar's into killing Omega. What?
Yeah, there's no way that this is going to be good for Divios here. He's going to escape. What? Gar's killing Omega?
Yeah.
Chase him down.
No, Omega was the one doing the chasing.
I guess he just turned it around. Either way, the Gold Fury miraculously makes it out of that one. Ionic, the early casualty in that one. Very strange to me that he was pushed out early, didn't actually wind up falling. Kraken maybe a little bit preemptive there. I think the expectation was Kraken's going to do enough damage to the Gold Fury to put it in execute range and knock up their support. Unfortunately, Cloud9 reset it at that point, meaning no Hand of the Gods available. And with that, Cloud9 doesn't really gain a huge win there either way, but Omega's finally coming back offline, or upline here. We're going to see if he can... He's probably just going to go back to the solo lane, though.
Yeah, he's got about 40 seconds for his port as well. He's likely just going to run over there. Mid camp's coming back up, left side. Gars, overhand smash, hug, run away.
And that's what you should do. Immediately. One of the most important things as a jungler or a support, and mid lane as well, I would say you need to know the exact amount of damage at each individual camp for the mid camps. I would say up until about 16 minutes until you can do the hand execute.
Right, yeah.
Early on, it's generally one auto attack from anyone stronger than a Guardian. Right? At 6 minutes, you're looking for probably something like an overhand smash will be enough.
Yeah, things like slice and dice, not enough sometimes, though.
Depending on, I guess, where you hit it, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, don't break the statues.
Yeah, that's rude.
You don't got to do things like that, man. She worked hard for that.
Let's take a look at the graphs here, though. As we've seen, I mean, it's kind of petered out, a little bit of a war of attrition here, but sliding further and further in favor of Cloud9.
And Snoopy, most notably, in the most trouble here as Medusa hitting level 15. Xbalanque with a 1-level advantage on top of the fact that he's gaining a little bit more gold as well. You see about a 500 gold advantage. And remember, Medusa in the end game, probably the best hunter ult, period. I mean, it's you can't walk at them at all, which means she has probably the best objective secure of any hunter. I would maybe say tied with Hou Yi, but I would rather much walk into the Sunbreaker than deal with any kind of Stone Gaze.
Suns provide a little bit more zoning potential.
Right, whereas she's just like, if you walk at this, you're going to be a statue.
You're going to have a bad time. Well, you can see Cloud9, they really, really want this Gold Fury, but they're having a hard time finding the right opportunity, but I think this is it. Ionic takes the wrong turn around that corner there.
There's Omega.
Omega ports in. They have the numbers advantage. Gars looking for an opportunity to initiate. Gold Fury, 46% going down slowly. They're not prioritizing it. Up in the air is Andy. Divios over the top. Here comes the Kraken as well. Cloud9, they take the Gold Fury, and can they find Divios and Ionic on the way out? Backside hits, yes! The Branching Bolas find the kill onto Ionic. Barracuda moving forward. This is a double kill at least. He finds, yes, there's the second kill. Is there a triple as well? Boosh, no, he will avoid the shots. Barracuda, no mana, unable to continue to pursue that one, but it's Bots who will fall as well. It's a 4-man wipe in favor of Cloud9. 10 kills to 4 now. 18.5 minutes in, and the lead has just grown very, very large.
Few people would disagree that Cloud9 is looking as strong as they ever have. I'm talking pre-launch tournament Cloud9 strength here. This roster is looking beautiful, and right there is a perfect example. Thor for 0, perfect use of Omega there, pushing his aura forward, making sure he does a lot of damage. Was the only person caught by the paralyzed, but it didn't matter because he was in the front line, and he's so tanky at this point with the Steel Mail, Mid-Guardian, and the extra health coming out from Dust Toll that he was able to just absorb all of Snoopy's damage. Remember, Medusa, not quite the endgame hunter. Barracuda, though, picking up 2 kills and a ton of gold in that fight. Automatic 10 damage added to the board. Then the scaling damage comes out for 2 more levels, and now Iqbal's online, Executioner's online. He's got all of his stacks on the Dev's gloves and just built a full sprint.
He's ready to party. He got his party supplies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the horns are about to be blown. Well, that was actually pretty good.
Thanks, man.
That was. How many times have you practiced that?
More than I can count.
Okay. So, Stealth here going to be able to pick up the red buff. Another
How
player.
is bellona level 19? When did that happen?
Well, it's Omega. That's what he does. He farms.
Yeesh.
Remember the old Omega baby? Just never stopped farming, and then was suddenly level 20 and in the duo lane just killing everyone. He gets to do that now with a bunch of weapons. Speaking of weapons, not many in the inventory here. You do see the cudgel coming out. Now, this could be a Runeforge hammer, but I can't imagine he's looking for any more physical defense at the risk of hitting too much diminishing returns.
Hammer. Start chipping away at that attack speed.
Frostbound Hammer is, in my opinion, one of the best items, if not the best item in the game.
It's pretty up. I mean, Heartseeker.
All right, well, Heartseeker's best
pretty
item.
good.
Bluestone Pendant. Best item in the game.
Frostbound Hammer.
Frostbound Hammer's up there, though.
It's Wingblade or Frostbound Hammer toss up for the most overstated for the price.
Well, in this right now, Soul Eater would be, because it's giving them 40 on the aura.
Will we ever see a Soul Eater?
I don't understand.
Oh, gas pedal, Barracuda. Snoopy, he's going to do what he can. He's going to try to kite him through the minions here. Barracuda, branching bolus.
No, not even caught.
Look at that, the old... I don't know, what do you call that one? It's the old something. The old get wrecked?
Rising Jaguar so fast that he not only dodges the actual stun, but he dodges the damage and slow outright, throwing himself at the mercy of the gods is Snoopy, but unfortunately was smited down for his, I guess, inability to keep up with Barracuda in the laning phase.
Well, Cloud9, they're going to press their advantage here.
Look at Omega, just not a care in the world.
They'll be like, things you're doing today is killing me, except for if you use all your ultimates, but they're not willing to use all of them just yet. Just Hun Batz is to isolate the Omega. Stone Shield negating a lot of that damage, as is the double big boy physical protection HP items.
I really wish I was on comms for that, just that engagement, because Omega's like, I'm just going to go in, guys, and everyone's like, guys, can you not? Can you stop? We don't want to do this.
I wish that there was someone defending the left side Phoenixes. Barracuda's taken out very quickly.
Well, here comes Snoopy again. I remember, didn't we already do this? Oh, Barra's out of mana.
Barra, I don't know that he is too much, you know.
Barracuda's out of mana.
Yeah, but...
Acid Spray's going to clear that wave for free.
Yeah, but Snoopy's already at under half HP. Barracuda can just walk in and in-hand it, right? I mean, it doesn't matter.
Oh, wow, yeah, he's blowing... Oh, Eagles rally over the wall. Cataclysm going to swing
Thor's
on a 2. Yeah, here comes Andy. What's he looking for? Snoopy just jumping. No, he's going to choose the backline. Gar's in a lot of trouble as the Phoenix does go down. Snoopy kind of falling as Barracuda gets the best of him again.
Anhur hasn't done much this game, has he?
He's ulted.
It's been a lackluster game for Anhur. Oh, that would have been pretty.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go for that.
I don't think it would have killed the Osiris anyway.
I think he would have died
but
for
Omega
it.
might kill the Osiris.
Oh, yeah, Omega might kill both of them.
Well, there's a slow, bludgeon, smack.
Going to hit 2. Wow, looking at Divios.
And the whip, yeah. Well, you know, might as well secure the kill on the Divios there. Boosh is way behind pace for a mid laner here.
I really think that he could have killed either one, but killing Divios was definitely the better call because, like you said, he's like level 15 as an Anhur. They have picked 2 hunters that function well in the early game and not in the end game. Usually you want to see something like an Anhur Uller, Anhur Apollo, Medusa Apollo, Neath Apollo, right? You want someone who's going to be able to carry. Both of these characters are early game hunters, and they're facing a late game hunter who, for some reason, still hasn't died.
Another 4 kills to add to Barracuda, now approaching 60 KDA.
Hello?
And a fire giant, why not?
See, I bet he's just like laughing right now.
Yeah.
He's just like, guys, I can't be killed.
John Salter.
I just can't be killed, guys.
The man, the myth, the legend, known as Barracuda.
I just don't understand. Like, I don't even have analysis for why he's not dying. It's just like he's invincible. This is the Barracuda from 2013. This is the one that this is where all the new viewers that came in after the launch tournament and all the people that started watching because of the ticket and all these other things, you know, we're marketing to bring these people in. They don't know the legend of the absolutely invincible Barracuda. This is it.
Yeah, there was one hunter in Smite for a long time, and his name was Zatman. And then came along the Barracuda and changed everything.
Speaking of Barracuda, gas pedal gets hit again, and Snoopy. Ooh, there was a Snoopy.
Look at the bait,
Divios.
the stealth bait. There's
Divios.
the Kraken. Divios down for the count. How do you get hit by Krakens? That's what I want to know.
Oh, this is trouble here. Barracuda gonna find another kill. I don't understand, Bart, how they keep allowing him to do this.
You know, Barracuda should just run into the well and die.
That would be the most BM thing I think anyone has ever done.
You know what? I don't need to have no deaths in the Pro League.
Titan gonna fall here, I think expectedly, as Cloud9 with an absolutely dominant performance off of what was a very strange 0-2 start.
Yeah, but Cloud9, hey, they look great.
I think that this is the best they've ever looked. Plain and simple. I mean, this is the best they have ever looked.
They won the World Championship. That was a pretty good look for them.
But barely. That was a 5-game series in which they struggled to get there. There was a third game against...
They struggled to beat Ares.
All right, and they also struggled to beat the Cog Red, the TSM squad.
That's true.
Those were insanely close games. All games were down to the wire. That game was a walkthrough.
It was. Let's take a look at First Blood again and talk some more about Cloud9
what was this?
and the magnificent of Barracuda.
So,
it was a strange engagement here, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, he just walks in, right? I mean, the Kraken comes out a little bit late, only hitting the support, and then Snoopy just, like, blows up everyone with a huge ult, gets the first blood, and then they find another one right after that. And it was gorgeous. But then they go into the Gold Fury, they put themselves in a spot where they should have won the fight, and then committed to Jeff Hinlet, and Jeff's just like, thanks, man.
That was the moment.
I'll just ult all for you.
Yeah, they were like, oh, let's bring the trap on Geb, and the minute they went to go do it, Xbalanque ultimate, they got a little bit discoordinated. They weren't able to get that CC chain out on the Geb,
Kata.
And boom, the Kata comes out.
That's the power of Geb, man. Constantly the most underrated character in Season 2. Sylvanus, very strong. I mean, Athena, very, very strong. And Geb, everyone's like, yeah, Geb's good. Geb's really good. I love Geb.
I'm not going to pick him, but he's
I'm not going to pick him because I don't want to.
It's
like
only
Stone
where
Shield.
Eagles there, right? I mean, like, the teams that we see pick Geb are these two.
Yeah. Well, Incon loves Geb.
Incon plays Sun Wukong and Guan Yu, though.
Incon just does whatever he wants. Oh.
This just in.
Oh, my God.
Player of the game. It's the still unkilled Barracuda.
I can't believe it. 605.
Just another.
I'm going to start offering a bounty.
Yeah. $500 to the man that brings me a kill on Barracuda.
Bart said it. I didn't say it. I didn't say that.
So he paid by Ares.
Paid by Ares? All right.
I'll need a habanero for it.
Oh, I'm not on board. Barracuda, no. That's TSM. No. They'll get a kill eventually. I would just like all invade, like 5-man invade the red, kill Barracuda and F6, right? Just like do it. Just get it done. Like, look at this guy.
Yeah, that play is a Rising Jaguar. That ability is so hard to
And then to the end here, poor Snoopy is just like slightly out of position, lacerates away, but the sprint too strong, comes back in. Divios completely off the mark there, blows him up too.
I just assumed Snoopy just sighed. And then he was just like...
Well, game 2, boys.
Yeah, game 2. Here we go. Let's take a look at the jungle control map, though, before we head into game 2 and see exactly how Cloud9 was able to control so much of this game. And it came through the map control, 65% of it, in fact. Yeah, you don't get your power buff, your speed buff, your attack speed buff.
You can see the top side maintains all red. Right side camps all red. And then the red plague starts to trickle down into every single camp.
Right, yeah, they took at least one of every other camp.
This is what it looks like when zombies invade on television. Like, this part's quarantined, and then these parts are infected.
Sure.
The Cloud9 plague
why
continues.
Not? Why not? Why not?